So apparently a high school in Colorado just went through a really tragic incident. The school, just outside of Denver, had more than 100 police officers rush to the scene after reports of violence broke out on campus. Right now, 3 students, including the suspect, are in critical condition at the hospital. What's even more shocking is that officials aren't even sure if the suspect was old enough to drive. One student, who was just eating his lunch outside, said the only thought that ran through his head was, "No way this is happening. This feels 1 in a million. It's such a heartbreaking situation. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Charlie Kirk is gone. At just 31 years old, his life was taken during what should have been a normal campus event in Utah. This wasn't just some random tragedy. He was standing there speaking to young people when a coward took everything away. Charlie wasn't perfect, but he was one of the loudest voices in American politics. Love him or hate him, and now, silence. The suspect, still being investigated. But make no mistake, whoever did this didn't just attack a man. They attacked free speech itself. Even Donald Trump has already spoken out, confirming the heartbreaking news, and millions of people across the country are in shock. It's hard to process. 31 years old, a voice that shaped an entire generation, gone in an instant. No matter where you stand politically, you have to admit, this is one of those moments that will change the conversation in America. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So apparently, police just found a man living in the crawl space under somebody's house in Portland. And babe, this wasn't just squatting.
This man had a whole apartment down there.
Like, he had a bed, very light-looking string lights, televisions, chargers,
And even a PS5.
And how was he powering all this? My guy literally ran an extension cord through the vent and stole the house's electricity. Sir, that's not homeless, that's just rent-free. But wait, it gets even crazier. The only reason police even showed up is because a neighbor saw him park his car
Yes, he had a car.
and casually walked to the back of the building like it was his Airbnb. Excuse me? You have a car, a PS5, electricity, but you're choosing crawl space realness? And girl, when the police tried to open the crawl space door with the owner's keys, they didn't even work. Wanna know why?
Because this man had already changed the locks.
At this point, he's not squatting.
He's the new property manager.
So apparently, even escaping a war zone doesn't guarantee safety anymore. A 23-year-old Ukrainian woman moved to the United States for a better life, only to lose it in the most tragic way on a train in Charlotte. Her name was Irina. She was just heading home after work, wearing her pizza shop t-shirt, AirPods in, minding her own business like everybody else on that train. But sitting right behind her was a man in a red hoodie, restless, agitated, and within minutes, he pulled out a knife and attacked her completely unprovoked. She never even saw it coming. The man, DeCarlos Brown, wasn't some random first-time offender. He had a long history of violent crime and mental illness. He'd already served prison time, and he wasn't even supposed to be on that train because he didn't have a ticket. Yet somehow, he was there, and because of that, a young woman who just wanted safety ended up losing her life. Other passengers who witnessed it said they're traumatized, and honestly, who wouldn't be? You're just commuting home, and suddenly something unthinkable happens right in front of you. This story is more than a headline. It's a reminder of how fragile life really is. Rant signing off. So apparently, kids can't even play ding-dong ditch anymore without it turning deadly. In Houston, an 11-year-old boy was shot and killed after ringing someone's doorbell and running away with his friends. 11 years old, just a kid playing a prank, and he never made it back home. Police said this wasn't self-defense. The boy wasn't breaking in, wasn't a threat. He was literally running away when it happened. That's not protection. That's a tragedy. And sadly, this isn't the first case. Just a few months ago, an 18-year-old filming a ding-dong ditch video for TikTok lost his life. And last year, 2 teens died after a man rammed their car because they pulled the prank on him. Back then, ding-dong ditch was silly but harmless. Worst case, someone came outside yelling and you had to sprint down the block. So if you're even thinking about doing it,
Don't.
stay safe, be smart, and don't risk everything over a doorbell. Rant, signing off. What do you mean they're making a Jesus Christ horror movie? Bro, this world has lost its mind. Like, even if you're not Christian, you know that's just straight up wrong. That's not edgy, that's not creative, that's demonic. And Hollywood, man, only Hollywood would look at the most kind, genuine person to ever walk the earth and say, yeah, let's turn him into a horror villain. Are you serious? That says everything about what's really going on over there. And supposedly Nicolas Cage is involved? Bro, what storyline could they possibly come up with? Jesus preached love, forgiveness, respect. There's nothing scary about that, unless Satan himself wrote the script. Honestly, the director might be worse. Please, do not support this movie. Don't give them a single cent. If you show up in that theater, I promise you, you're not just watching a film. You're inviting some real dark stuff into your life. And for what? So they can mock someone sacred? This isn't just disrespectful, it's dangerous. Rant, signing off. What do you mean flying cars are real now? People are literally pre-ordering Sky Hondas for $300,000.
$300,000.
Bro, for that price, it better come with autopilot, a parachute, and a priest just in case the engine light comes on at 3,000 feet. And the wildest part?
They're testing them at airports.
So basically, unless you have a pilot's license, you're not pulling up to Chick-fil-A in one of these anytime soon. But you know, the second these hit the streets,
Some dude named Chad is gonna use it to DoorDash Taco Bell.
Like imagine sitting in traffic, fuming, and the guy in front of you just lifts off. Gone, vanished into the sky.
What are you supposed to do?
Honk at the clouds.
File a complaint with a pigeon, and don't even get me started on parking. If people can't reverse into a normal spot without taking out 2 shopping carts,
How do you expect them to land a flying Tesla at Target?
the clearance sale is going to turn into an airstrike. So yeah, the future's officially here. Rant signing off. So you're telling me the biggest political mystery right now?
Is a bruise on Donald Trump's hand.
Like girl, forget debates, forget world issues. People are zooming in on his knuckles like it's a Marvel post-credit scene.
And the internet is going crazy with theories.
Some say he is literally dying, others think it's makeup, and a few are convinced he secretly fought off a vampire. I even saw one person say he punched a wall after losing in Fortnite.
Honestly?
All of them sound possible.
But here's where it actually gets serious. When you're running for president, even a random bruise becomes breaking news. A purple mark on his hand is now a bigger talking point than his actual policies. Rant signing off. So, you're telling me Japanese researchers just invented a way to erase memories? Like, they literally shine a blue light in your brain and BAM!
Your most embarrassing moments just get deleted like a TikTok draft.
That's insane. Fail a math test? Gone. Accidentally call your teacher mom? Deleted. Text your ex at 3 a.m. like, I miss us?
Not anymore, you never even knew them.
But here's where I don't trust it. What if they aim wrong? Like, bro, I asked you to erase the time I fell in the cafeteria, not my entire ability to eat spaghetti. Imagine going in to delete trauma and coming out not knowing how to ride a bike. And you know people are gonna abuse this. Some dude gets caught cheating and goes, babe, relax.
I literally don't even remember her.
Meanwhile, there's a scientist in Japan with an Xbox controller like, oops, my bad, just deleted his childhood too. Honestly though,
I'd sign up immediately.
what do you mean Australia wants to tax you for spare bedrooms? Like,
Sorry.
Since when did having a guest room become a crime?
imagine saving your whole life for a nice house, finally getting that extra bedroom for your mom to visit or for your piles of Amazon boxes, and suddenly the government's like,
Yeah, we're gonna need rent for that.
their logic? Australia's got a housing shortage, prices are sky high, and they keep missing their own building target of 240,000 homes a year. So instead of actually building more houses, they're like,
Let's just punish people who already have them.
genius, right? And people are rightfully mad. Retirees say it's unfair, families say it's intrusive, and honestly, what's next? A tax for having an empty fridge shelf? A penalty for not using every inch of your driveway? It's basically government-level petty. At this point, they're not solving the housing crisis. Rant signing off. What do you mean a bunch of kids tried to do a real-life predator catch and one of them actually got abducted? Like, girl, they watched one Chris Hansen clip and thought they were ready for Law and Order.
Be serious.
So instead of calling the police like normal people, these kids set up this whole YouTube sting operation. They're messaging some grown predator online, and when it's time to catch him, they don't send a fake decoy, oh no.
They send a literal 12-year-old boy into his car.
Like, babe, that's not bait. That's same-day shipping. And of course, the guy locks the doors and drives off. That wasn't even a predator catch.
That was Amazon Prime for kidnappers.
Congratulations, you just gift-wrapped a child. Like, what even was the plan? Were they gonna yell gotcha and hope he felt guilty? Use Nerf guns?
If that man was stronger than all of them,
He could have just scooped up the whole squad like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones.
Thankfully, the boy escaped, but girl, this is exactly why kids should not be out here playing to catch a predator. Rant signing off. What do you mean Elon Musk is not the richest man? So it just came out that Elon Musk lost his position as the richest man to this guy named Larry Ellison. So this guy Larry had some stocks in a company named Oracle, and they randomly skyrocketed. Not by a little, but by $100 billion in a single day. One day. That's literally more money than my entire family tree combined will ever touch. Now Larry's sitting at $393 billion, and Elon's down at a sad little $385 billion. Like, what do you even buy with that much money? A planet? A new alphabet? At this point, I feel like these guys could take over the world with ease. Subscribe and like. Why is going to the store a whole mission? Like, I walk in for one thing and suddenly I'm carrying
15 random items I don't even remember picking up,
And don't get me started on the cart with the one squeaky wheel that sounds like it's
screaming for help the entire time.
Then there's the awkward dance you do when someone's standing in front of the thing you need. So you pretend to look at the pasta while
Secretly waiting for them to move.
Like, bro, why are the lines always either empty or wrapped around the entire store? Self-checkout always malfunctions the second I use it, like I suddenly forgot how to scan a bag of chips. And somehow, even when I follow the list,
I always forget the one thing I came for.
subscribe and like.
Why do teachers assign homework like we have nothing else to do with our lives? Like, bro, I'm mentally and physically drained from surviving 8 hours of school. Now you're telling me I have to do 13 assignments that take up my whole day to complete. Nah, Bro, do you think I'm happily dancing in my room thanking you for giving me this filth? I'm literally barely finishing these homeworks on 1 HP. I'm hungry, my brain feels like it's about to shut down, and I'm 1 second away from crashing out. The worst part is that they have the audacity to say, "Don't worry guys, it's not that bad, you have 3 days to finish it." Bro, how am I supposed to finish 10 whole pages of questions Albert Einstein wouldn't even know how to answer? Is it me, or I just don't know how to roast people? Like I'll get into an argument, and all I can come up with is, "Shut up, all you do is talk." Meanwhile, they're hitting me with stuff like, "You look like an unseasoned oatmeal packet. You built like a disabled cockroach. You smell like how vomit feels, and you get no girls because you look like you snuck onto Earth without clearance." And I'm just standing there not knowing what to say because my brain is giving me radio silence. Like, where do y'all even come up with these roasts? Subscribe and like.
Roblox is cooked with these allegations. First, they thought about the idea of adding dating to Roblox, then randomly changed friends to connections, ignored the whole Teddy situation, and now they've banned Schlep for protecting kids. Their moderation is just straight up embarrassing. Like my little brother could probably do a better job at moderating. They keep doing everything except fixing the real problems. Even Qatar banned Roblox entirely, and that's saying something. You know it's bad when massive Roblox creators like Creekcraft are leaving the Star program. At this point, Roblox isn't even pretending to care, like they're straight up saying, "Your safety is not our problem. Subscribe and like."
It's kind of crazy how quick guys become friends. They'll bump into each other in gym class, say, "Yo," and suddenly they're hanging out every day like
They've known each other since birth. No deep conversations.
no trust-building exercises, just a shared laugh, and now they're bros for life. Like these guys will meet in a group project once and then be at each other's birthday parties the next week. Meanwhile, girls need a full FBI background check and
6 months of bonding before calling someone a friend.
these dudes will argue over who's better at Mario Kart and then end up being inseparable. Subscribe and like.
Roblox just added AI. Yeah, apparently, if you didn't hear, Roblox is preparing to add AI to games. Soon, Roblox players will be able to spawn vehicles, weapons, and random objects
just by typing what they want.
Like, give me a flying car, and boom, it's in the game. Someone already AI generated a car in Jailbreak and drove it around, which is actually kind of sick. But let's be real,
I already know this is about to get weird fast.
some kid is probably gonna spawn 400 flaming toilets and crash the server. And you know there's gonna be that one person who makes the most cursed
Thing possible.
Roblox is basically about to become a mix of GTA, Minecraft, and whatever unholy creations people cook up at 3 a.m. Subscribe and like.
Why is playing Kahoot in class so chaotic? The second that game code pops up, everyone starts trying to type in the weirdest names possible. There's always a bend over or big chungus. Meanwhile, I'm over here still struggling to connect to the school's Wi-Fi that runs like a snail. Then, the game starts, and suddenly I forget everything I've ever learned. Like I see the question on the screen, and suddenly my brain acts like I've never seen this subject before in my life. I'm panicking, randomly picking answers, while someone's already at 10,000 points, like they were born for this moment. The worst part is when I'm just about to take first place, I get one answer wrong, and suddenly I drop from second all the way down to 16th, like I just failed life itself. Subscribe and like. Why is the first day of school actual pain? Teachers start acting all nice and kind, but by day 2, you're drowning in homework they gave you. Everyone's rocking their brand new outfits like it's a fashion show, but by Friday, it's hoodies and sweatpants again. Then we got those icebreaker games that are just torture. Like, why are we tossing a ball around just to end up saying that we slept the whole summer? Don't even get me started on lunch, since it's chaos too, since you basically have to gamble on who's gonna let you sit at their table. And the school supplies, you bought 20 folders, 10 notebooks, and a fancy calculator just to use the same crusty pencil every day. The worst part are the hallways, since it's just Mario Kart with backpacks and elbows. By the time the day ends, you're already exhausted, wondering how summer went by in 3 blinks. Subscribe and like. Why is the dentist pure chaos? You walk in and instantly smell that weird dentist office smell that already makes your teeth hurt. Then they make you sit in the waiting room where you get to stress read magazines that look like they've been sitting there for years. Once you're in the chair, they're already asking you a million questions while their hands are literally in your mouth. Like, yes, let me just recite my life story while choking on this suction tube. The cleaning always feels like they're using medieval weapons to scrape your teeth. And don't even get me started on the water sprayer. 1 second you're fine, and the next you're drowning in your own saliva. At the end, they hand you a tiny goodie bag with floss, like that makes up for the trauma you just endured. And somehow they still say, "See you in 6 months," like I didn't just barely survive this visit. Subscribe and like.